Hi, I'm Gene McLaughlin. I'd like to introduce you to Candidates 2019. We have 6 candidates running for 3 at-large seats on the Township Council this year. Today, the Democratic challengers are our guests. I'd like to introduce them to you. First, June Dungee, Raya Arbiol, and Dennis Maher. Folks, thank you for coming out today.
Thank you, Gene.
You know, many people here in the township are new to the township. Many of you are new to running for office here in the township. I'd like to just take a minute or two and just give people a little resume. If I could start with you, June, something about your personal background, professional, whatever.
Sure, Gene. I have lived in Old Bridge for over 11 years. I'm a widow. I have 2 adult children. I graduated from Mount Clair State University, and I have been involved in politics all my adult life. I started out in Essex County, and then here I am in Old Bridge. I was a county committee, and then I ran and became councilwoman for the 3rd Ward. I have been supportive of many political organizations and community organizations within the county. I'm a member of the First Baptist Church of Lincoln Garden, and I enjoy the community of Old Bridge, and I want to stay in Old Bridge. That's why I want to run, so I can support and be a part of the Old Bridge community.
Okay, thank you, June. Raya, if I may ask you the same question, you're sort of a newcomer to politics. And,
yes, Gene. Thanks for having me again.
Yourself.
My name is Raya Arbiol. I've lived in Old Bridge since 2005. I'm the eldest of 7 siblings, which my 6 younger siblings I basically raised after my mother passed away at a very young age. I graduated, I have my master's in business administrations from Scranton University in Pennsylvania, and currently working as a senior operations manager in a meal kit company here in Newark, New Jersey. I also have my small business. It's a professional consulting, and I've been helping businesses do business solutions, training and development, and image consultancy. I've been in politics and civic since my involvement in Emerge New Jersey, which is an organization that trains Democratic women to win for office. I've been involved in national organizations such as American Red Cross, USO, and New York Cares, where I help underprivileged people prepare for taxes.
Okay, thank you, Raya. Dennis, if I can go to you, people may know you, but they may not, newcomers may not be familiar with you.
I've been an Old Bridge resident since 1956 when my parents purchased their home in the Madison Park section of town. I was educated in the Old Bridge school system, graduating from Madison Township High School. Upon graduating from high school, I received an athletic scholarship to Seton Hall University, where I received both my undergraduate degree in business administration and my master's degree in finance. I'm a former councilman and council president in Old Bridge Township, and during my tenure on the council, we preserved over 1,700 acres of open space, and we maintained a 0 tax increase for 9 consecutive years. Also, what I'm most proud of is being on council as a council president. I solicited efforts from local YMCAs, 4 local YMCAs, to run our Old Bridge YMCA, which eventually we selected the Freehold YMCA to run that facility for us. I'm retired with 29 plus years at AT&T and various progressive management leadership roles in treasury, stocks and bonds, local, long distance, and mobile communication services. Together with my wife Cindy, we raised 4 children. I was a coach and an officer of many of the youth activities in terms of baseball, basketball, cheerleading, etc. I'm currently a member of the Friendly Sons of Shillelagh and a former member of the Knights of Columbus St. Bernadette's Church and former trustee of Most Holy Redeemer Roman Catholic Church.
Okay, thank you, Dennis. Dennis, if I can start with you, you have been on the council before. Why are you choosing to go back to the council to run again?
I'm running, Gene, for the same reasons that I ran previously before, and that's to be a responsible person, a steward for the financial, fiscal type issues. I believe that the public sector must take a look at what the private sector has been doing for many, many years, and that is bringing private sector mentality into the public sector in terms of all the decisions that are being made. I had, at AT&T, I had complete, full profit and loss responsibility for many services, managing multi-million-dollar businesses and multi-billion-dollar industries. And that's the type of leadership that I can bring to the town council.
Okay, thank you, Dennis. Raya, if I may ask you the same thing, why are you choosing to run for office now?
Gene, I'm running for office right now because Old Bridge needs new leadership. They need new perspective and new fresh voice in the Township Council. As a graduate of Emerge New Jersey, with Progressive Minds, I want the youth to be involved in any civic actions. I want to provide that fresh voice and focus on diversity in the council.
Okay, thank you. What are you going to do to gain recognition, name recognition? People may see you as a newcomer. They may not know you. What are you going to do to get out there?
Since the primary elections, what we've been doing is really knock on doors. That's how I engage with the township residents and like be visible in some of the activities that's happening in the town. But most of what I'm proud of is really talking to the residents one by one. That direct contact gives them an idea of like who I am as a person, as a member of this community, and as a person and a possible councilwoman at large in the future.
Okay, thank you. June, you have been on the council in the past. Why are you running again?
I'm running again because when I was on the council before, I don't think I had the opportunity to finish the job. So I want to have another opportunity to be on the council and be involved with the seniors. I recognize now I'm a senior and I go to the silver lining group over there. There's a lot of things that the seniors need and they want, and I think I can relate to them. Not only the seniors, I do want to relate to all the constituents of Old Bridge. When I was there, I enjoyed it very much, and I was relating to the people, and I was walking and getting to know what some of their concerns were. So that's why I want to get back in there so I can walk, meet the people, and they are very wonderful people in Old Bridge. Old Bridge is a beautiful town, and as I'm walking down with the candidate at large, I'm seeing many more parts of Old Bridge really that I didn't see before. So with that, I want to meet the people, I want to help the seniors, and just bring some unity and a little more respect and dignity.
Okay, thank you. Raya, what strength do you think you bring to the council?
I think my over 10 years of management experience and my military background as a hospital corpsman in the United States Navy really prepares me for this type of endeavor. And I believe all of those, my professional and my personal background, will constitute to a really better councilwoman at large. We need to have representation of the diversity. Our town is very diverse, and I want our council to represent that as well, so that other people can look at our township council and really get involved, and they can see themselves out there as well.
Okay, thank you. Dennis, you've been on the council in the past. I offered to ask the question, what is the responsibility of an at-large council person? You don't have a specific ward that you're responsible for, like you were responsible for Ward 3, June. What does an at-large councilman do? What are you responsible for?
First of all, I'd like to say that you have to never lose sight of who you were elected by. And you were elected by Republicans, Democrats, and Independents. And you were elected to solve all issues. Old Bridge is a very large, diverse community. It's made up of 6 wards. Each of the wards are uniquely different. What's right in Ward 1 might be not a burning issue in Ward 3 or Ward 6 and things like that. I think in terms of an at-large councilman, you have to find the common ground. And you have to be a consensus type builder and do what's right for the entire town as a whole. I can tell you, if elected, as a councilman again, you'll always have my ear. I'll tell you what I know and what I don't know, and I'll be completely transparent with you.
Thank you, Dennis. Dennis, what do you see from your perspective right now as the biggest challenge facing the township?
Oh, that's a good question, Gene. I mean, Old Bridge is on really a perilous course. We're facing many, many challenges. The challenges we face are including protecting open space, protecting the character of our community, challenges we're facing the school system, rising property taxes. They all affect the quality of life in terms of Old Bridge, in terms of what we do.
What could you do about these as a member of the council? What would you propose?
Well, let's talk about open space.
Yes, please.
In terms of open space and protecting the character of our community, I think we need to do a better job at constantly reviewing our local land use ordinances and master plan, and put a tighter control on development. Prior to this current administration, the township, we provided periodic updates to our master plan. Matter of fact, I remember in my early years on the township council, we rezoned certain areas of town, make it to 1 to 2 acre zoning to curtail development. So I think that's the biggest challenge in terms of, or one of the biggest challenges in terms of facing the township.
Okay, thank you. Raya, what do you see as the biggest challenge
I think
facing
I
the
agree
township?
with Dennis on this one. The land use policies that the current township council are neglecting. We need to have a better way of revising master plans and really applying those land use policies and ordinances that's in place. Because one of the challenges, if those builders like sue us for something that will challenge that land use policies, those policies will be neglected and they will be like gone. Like it will be chaotic. Look, Old Bridge is a very desirable place to live.
Yes,
like this
it
is
is.
like you see common access and roadways. Families, commuters love living here. So it's finding the balance of having that desire for a lot of people to live here and finding a smart way for growth so that we can improve our quality of life.
Okay. June, as I said, a former council person, what do you see as the biggest challenge now facing the council and the township?
Well, one of the biggest challenges I see is dealing with our public safety. As you know, we had a couple of incidents in Old Bridge recently, and I don't know if they were ever resolved. But I'm very concerned about our children in school, going to school.
Oh, okay.
So many things are happening in the school system today. I know parents are very frightened sending their kids off to school. I'm concerned about seniors with the social isolation. They need help. A lot of them live by themselves like I do, and they go home on weekends and they have nothing to do. So I'm really more interested in trying to find some activities for seniors to feel a part of the community on the weekends also. And also, when we're driving down Route 9,
Yes, ma'am.
as you know, there have been a lot of accidents on Route 9.
Yes.
And so we need to deal with that. Our current mayor candidate has written a letter to the state asking them to come and do some survey to try to resolve that problem on Route 9. And also, as you know, Mr. Mervin was very instrumental in saving a young lady's life, well, not young lady, but a senior's life when we were out knocking on the door. So there are things that we are doing, that we should be doing, and we will do to keep Old Bridge safe.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to ask you just to hold your thoughts for a moment, please. We're going to be taking a break. Folks, we're going to a break right now. We're talking to the Democratic challenges for the 3 at-large seats on the Township Council on November 5th. Please stay with us. Hi, folks. Welcome back to Candidates 2019. Today, our guests are the Democratic challengers for the 3 at-large seats on the council on November 5th. June, if I can pick up with you, you mentioned a couple of things that concerned you, public safety, the senior situation. Anything else you would choose to champion or look at?
Yes, when I was on the council before, I live in London the London Terrace and Parkwood Garden. They're there together.
Yes.
And we have a lot of young people over there. And one of my main concerns then, and still is actually, was to try to open a youth center.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to keep up with that because I didn't get back on the council. That would be something that I would also have in the back of my mind to try to accomplish that goal too, because it would not only just be for the young people, it would be a facility that people that live over there can also utilize. You know, seniors, young people, young adult. Married people who may want to have a birthday party or something like that. So that would be another concern of mine, to try to bring something there for the young people and the seniors, etc., the residents actually of that area.
Okay, thank you, June. Raya, the same question, if I may. You were talking about land use ordinances type of thing. Anything else you'd select as a project you'd champion?
So aside from land use policies, I really want to focus on smart growth. So as a town, we're neglecting that. We need to refocus our attention to improving quality of life instead of the overdevelopment. And how we do that is like have legislation and ordinances that will tackle those issues and work with everyone in the council, and not just because I'm a Democrat that I wouldn't work with the Republicans. We need people in the council that think individually, are independent thinkers, and that will work towards that has experience of collaboration. What we're having in the Township Council now is like they vote by block. It's like there's no more thinking. It's politicized. It's so partisan, and that's not what Old Bridge needs. Many people in our town are not affiliated with any parties, but I think that anyone in the council, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, needs to be an independent thinker and will collaboratively work towards the common goal for all Bridge residents.
Okay, thank you, Raya. Dennis, what do you think of what Raya just said about the council and getting to work with everybody?
Well, exactly. As I said before, you have to, remember that, being on council here, you're elected by, independents, Democrats, and Republicans, and you're representing all people. Looking at some of the council meetings, a lot of the council is taking the rhetoric that's happening down in Washington, D.C. It's petty, it's indecisive, it's not very, they're not trying to find a common ground or things like that. I think we need to start refocusing on Old Bridge, reinvesting on Old Bridge, what we can do in Old Bridge in terms of improving the quality of life for all our residents.
Okay,
we have a lot to accomplish here in Old Bridge.
Please, Dennis, I didn't mean to interrupt you. One other thing, how would you differentiate yourself from your Republican opponents? You've got a lot of experience over there on that side of the ticket. How would you differentiate yourself, Dennis? You've been there before for a number of years on the council. How would you differentiate yourself?
Well, one of the issues I wanted to really talk about is
Yeah,
one of the challenges and issues, and talk about how I would make a difference or differentiate myself from them is we have taxes. I mean, rising property taxes and budgeting. We need to be more forward-thinking in terms of new policies, new direction to focus to prevent tax increases. Forward-thinking for new policies that reduce the tax burden on our residents. We need to be more forward-thinking in taking a look at the entire peripheral of everything that makes up our entire tax base, which is school, the county, the library, and things like that. We need to develop policies and more forward-thinking to more shared services in town, to reduce the tax burden on our residents. The generation where I come from, the baby boomers, 80 to 90% of the people, are doing better than their parents. The future generation, the millennials, and the generations to come, I think it's a toss-up, in terms of this. We have an administration that's taking credit for a zero tax increase. A zero tax increase was good in the early 2000s, but a zero tax increase today should be the floor, not the ceiling in terms of that. I mean, we need to really squeeze every penny out of our entire tax base to improve the quality of life for all our Old Bridge residents.
Okay, thank you. Raya, what do you think?
I think, I'm in a very unique position in this campaign or in this election. I'm a first-time candidate.
Right.
I provide an outsider's perspective. I have a fresh voice to bring into the council. And I think that is a positive way, or it is a plus for me. How will I differentiate myself with the incumbents right now? I recognize and acknowledge that they are experienced,
Yes.
but that experience did not get us anywhere. Old Bridge is still stagnant. We need to reinvest in our community. We need to refocus our attention to improving quality of life, as what I said earlier,
Yes.
by expanding, our parks and our recreational programs, and stopping this isolation of Old Bridge from our county and from our state.
Okay. June, what do you think of what Raya just said? You agree?
Well, this is the way I feel about it. I'm not going to worry about the experience. I'm going to be more interested in trying to serve the people of Old Bridge. And as I said before, I'm very interested in working with the seniors. Seniors should have the opportunity to live out their golden years and, with dignity and respect. They should not have to leave or move out the township because of cost of living increase.
Right.
They should have availability of different benefits. They should be made aware of the benefits. I think that they should mail out reminders and information to the seniors to let them know what's available. Because as I got involved, I didn't always know about things that were available to seniors. Presently, I don't have a car to drive because of medical reasons. And I had to learn how to get around without my car.
That's
And
gotta
so
be
I'm
tough.
not the only one. And there are
Right.
a lot of seniors who experience the same thing I'm experiencing. So that's one of the things that I really want to be concerned about. And so their experience doesn't bother me. I'm more concerned in reaching out to the people who need my help.
Okay, thank you.
Jean, if I may just add.
Yes, please,
about,
Raya.
like when we talk about experience, right? So our ticket gives us experience as well. As I see it, it is the past, the present, and the future. Like we have former council members and council president in
Yes.
our ticket with experience as well, and we have our mayor, present council, Ward 1 councilman in Dave Merwin running for office, and me representing the future of this ticket. And finding that balance, that should be in the council as well. So it's not all about experience, it's about balancing what we have and what we can do so that we can succeed as a community.
Okay, thank you, Raya. What are you hearing from the voters, Dennis, as you walk the streets? What are you hearing? What are they telling you?
We're hearing the voters want to change.
Really?
I mean, they want to change. They want people, as I said, there's too much talk, too much rhetoric going around in terms of our local council people picking up the dialogue that's coming from D.C. at the federal level. I mean, people are really want us to take a look at taxes. They want to us first to squeeze every penny we can out of our budget to improve the quality of life for all Old Bridge residents. They want better recreation programs for children. As June said, our seniors want to retire in Old Bridge after raising their family in Old Bridge. They don't want to have to retire out of state and leave their families behind. As I said, we're in a, people are afraid, are concerned with respect to the open space. I mean, the current administration just made some zoning changes 2 years ago that the zoning changes that there's going to be over 3,500 additional housing units in Old Bridge. What's that going to do to our infrastructure? I mean, that's frightening. I mean, it's going to be additional tax liabilities on our current taxpayers for schools, public safety, recreation, sewer and water, and the environment. But people really want change. I mean, Old Bridge seems to be stagnant. I mean, we're not moving forward. I mean, it seems like the status quo. We had a saying at AT&T that you pay on results, not effort.
That's
I
right.
see a lot of effort going on, but I don't see any results. I don't see us moving forward.
Okay. Raya, what do you, yeah, please, June, what are your voters telling you?
What I'm seeing is that a lot of people that are getting on the council, they're not getting on the council for the interests and concerns for the people of Old Bridge. They are using the council as a stepping stone for their own personal being. So I think that's not fair to the people who vote for them and put them in office. We should be there to represent the people. And with our ticket here, we bring in balance, experience, and diversity. And I think that's very good.
Okay, well said. What does your voters tell you?
Well, when I'm around knocking on doors, they're concerned about taxes. They're concerned about
Always a popular issue, the taxes.
yes, taxes. They also talk about the kids going to school. They hear about different things that happen throughout the state with the gun situation.
Yeah.
So they're very concerned about that, and just basically they want us to work for them. When they put us in office,
Okay.
they want us to do the job for them,
Okay.
and not just come around for voting time.
Not at voting time. Raya, what are you hearing?
So what I hear is like
as you walk
there,
the street?
there is an excitement there when they open the door and they see me. They see someone young, they see someone new, and someone that will bring a new perspective and new voice to the Township Council. I see it all across the board, not just Democrats, not just unaffiliated. We talk to Republicans as well. When they see me, they see our ticket, they get excited because like we have the balance that needed to be in the council.
Okay, thank you. That was well said, everyone. Thank you very much. We're getting near the end of the program. Before we close, I'd like you to do yourself and the residents a favor. First of all, if I may lead with you, June, why would voters send you back to the council? Why should they elect you? Why vote for you?
Well, I'm hoping that they will realize when I was there before, I did the very best I could. And I was very instrumental in working to help the EMS. I know at the time the township was trying to get rid of them, and I voted to table that so that they could stay here. And so I felt very good about that. And I got a lot of people who spoke to me and said they would really appreciate my stepping in to helping them. And I also want to run because, as I said, I want to work with the seniors. I want to learn from them, and I want them to learn from me. And I want to also work with the young people.
Okay, where are people going to find you on the ballot?
Column B.
Column B, that's all we know right now.
Column B.
Column
Yes.
B, yes.
Column
Okay.
We don't know otherwise.
Okay. Why are you running?
Jean, thank you for that question. I am running because I want to provide new leadership for Old Bridge. I am running because our township needs a fresh voice who have not served in the government and who is not untainted by the divisive national politics and rhetorics that we're hearing right now. I am running to focus on land use and correct the mismanagement of land use and housing policies by the current Township Council. I am running to refocus our attention into improving quality of life instead of overdevelopment. I am running because I want to represent the true diversity that Old Bridge is.
Okay, thank you. Dennis, I'll give you the last word here. Why should people send you back to the council?
Yes, Gene. If elected, I promise to do work every day to meet your expectations. I'll always be honest with you. I'll tell you what you know and what I don't know, even if it's unpopular. I'll ask for your input. Everything I do, as I said before, is going to be transparent, and you'll have my ear. The challenges we face in town, in our schools, preserving open space, protecting the character of our town, property taxes and our environment, affect the quality of life of every Old Bridge resident. I have a deep understanding of our community and the opportunities, the way things work. We have many issues that need to be addressed, and with my educational and professional background and running with my teammates here, we can hit the ground running. You can find us on column B, at the bottom of column B.
Okay, well, thank you very much, folks, for coming in today. I want to tell you how much we appreciate you being here, taking the time. Want to wish you the best of luck out on the trail. And, folks, that is council candidates for 2019. These are the 3 Democratic challenges for the at-large seats. Thank you for watching. I'm Gene McLaughlin. We'll see you next time on another candidates program. Take care.